All right, and we are live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? God, I can barely fucking talk tonight. Jesus. I feel like so.
You're definitely trying to sell us something.
I know. So here's the deal, right? Like, it's not who I am underneath, but what I do.
I feel like we're like in an
Colonel, I've infiltrated the podcast.
You just opened a coat and you've got like watches hanging out of it.
What do you call it?
It's the fucking Hercules. You want to buy a sundial? Like...
That's what no, I'm gonna go as soon as we're done. We've got like a 24-hour grocery store near my neighborhood. I'm gonna go over there.
Wow, that's a weird brag, but
yeah,
okay.
it's weird. We live in the middle of fucking nowhere, and we live out in the country. I'm gonna go over there, and I'm gonna walk in and walk right over the register and say, "What are you selling?" Like,
and then get the cops called on you.
I'll pay for it, and I'll say, no, I'll pick up like a fucking a liter of Coke Zero, and I'll say, "I'll buy it at a high price."
Is it Harris Teeter? Is that your 24-hour?
No, we actually have a 24-hour Food Lion.
Oh, nice.
The fuck is a food lion?
You don't know.
It's like a regular lion, but you're the hungry one.
I too have a 24-hour Food Lion near me, but I go to Harris Teeter because I prefer it.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what either of those are.
The only reason I know that Food Lion is a thing that exists is because in Night in the Woods, there's a spin on it called Snack Falcon. That's the
It's awesome.
Well, as anybody who is listening to this fucking shit show can tell, I am sick. I am very, very sick. But you know what? The show must fucking go on. We got a lot of shit to talk about, and we're so short on members tonight that we had to rope in fucking Tom Johnson from GameRanx.
Yeah, you all fucked up this time.
I almost said GameRanx.
GameRanx number one
podcast
for sure.
Fucking busting kneecap in with a sledgehammer, and so we got Tom here, and we also have just introduce yourself, man. I can barely talk.
No, it's okay. I'll wait. It's fine.
Wait till you're done dying.
Oh my god!
Any minute now,
dude. I feel like shit. Anyway, we have Alex O'Neill from Irrational Passions.
Hi,
Alex, one of my co-competitors at the Kind of Funny Intersight tournament. And he may not have made it past the first round, but I fucking guarantee you he can make a pizza better than I can. So
I make a mean pizza in real life. So
do you really? You don't live that far from me, actually. So I need to fucking.
Let's go make some pizzas.
We need to put your skills to the test, man.
John. You've been called out already in chat.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be sick if you'd wash your beanie. Have you washed it since the Kind of Funny tournament?
Okay, so that's a hard no.
That's a hard no. I can already tell you.
Lena found out why you're sick, man.
I actually, you know what? If people are gonna shit post, I should probably get the fucking chat up, right?
Yeah.
I need to answer my fucking shit posters. So guys, a lot to talk. Yeah, there she is in the fucking chat already. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about tonight, and I figure so here's the deal, right? I know Tom is dying to talk about this hollow moon shit. I know.
I'm
you know what?
fucking dying to hear about it.
You've got 5 minutes to get this shit off your chest.
All right, so
Let's
the moon
go.
doesn't make sense. All right, the moon
I'm
doesn't
on
make
board.
sense. It shouldn't be able to orbit. It's too big. But you know what? My fiance is looking at me, pointing at me as if to say, "Don't you go on this."
Not the only one. Not the only one.
But what if the moon was hollow and it stays in space because there's fucking thrusters on it, John? That keeps it. What?
Okay.
Stop looking at me like that, please.
Okay. So I feel like for people in chat, and for people listening to this later, can you kindly explain what the hollow moon theory is?
So people believe that the moon ain't real. There are various theories of the moon ain't being real.
Are these the flat earthers? These are the flat earthers, right?
No, the flat earthers believe that there is a moon, but they believe there's also an anti-moon. There's a whole thing there that we can't get into right now.
Is that real?
We don't have time for the anti-moon, okay?
All right, I'm done again.
That's chapter 12.
We're too much of, as they call them, globe cucks to be going on about that right now.
That's a term they actually use for people who believe this shit. Yeah.
They call us globists. They call us globe cucks. It's a real thing. So the moon. So these people, they do believe that we went to the moon. They believe we went there, but they believe we didn't land because it was too filled with alien bases for us to adequately land. There are a whole bunch of other people that believe the moon is a hologram.
Projected on what?
It makes sense to me. I don't know what the fuck Derek's laughing about.
It's a hologram
sort of-
projected on the real moon.
Yeah, they believe it's like some sort of Death Star Dyson sphere type situation. That the depending on what source you go to, either the alien grays, not the tall whites, they're the short grays and the tall whites, or based on your other thing, the reptilians are the ones there. Who are
Oh, yeah, my brethren. Yeah, I got it.
So I gotta ask, I gotta ask, how the fuck do you find this shit? Because you came on here. I have talked about everything from Flat Earth Society to Hollow Moon to the most bangable cryptids with you,
which is the Mothman. The answer to that one was the Mothman. We determined that. If you want, they have a statue of the Mothman in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and he just has a big silver statue of him. He's like, I'm the Mothman, and he has the most rippling abs, like these beautiful, glistening, rippling abs.
Okay, so I can see a range of emotions in the podcast now. Alex is wondering why the fuck he agreed to this, and Jeff is just in the corner taking it all in, wondering why he ever decided to come back to the podcast. Like, Jeff, did you miss us?
Oh yeah, I missed this. I was actually just thinking about how I just watched the Richard Gere Mothman prophecies.
Look, I try to bring a special flavor that you don't get otherwise.
Yes, well, that you succeed very well at that. I can't do Hollow Moon anymore. I'm sorry. We got to talk about video games.
We're gonna get to
Would you
the
rather
real
talk about
show.
Soldier Boy's console, because I could talk about that.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so Alex, so Tom actually ordered the Soldier Boy console.
Nice, dude.
And you know, do you want to give us a quick review real quick, Tom?
So-
on the Soldier Boy console.
He hasn't shipped them out yet, but basically he's just taking these AliExpress ones and just shipping them box intact, no branding, nothing on them. So we found that one. We found the exact one that he's selling, and we bought it off AliExpress. And that thing is a fucking hot mess, and I love it so much.
So
It just looks like an Xbox with a PlayStation controller.
is that
Yeah,
what
it
it is?
It has two knockoff Mad Catz PS2 controllers.
Oh my god.
Oh, PS2. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. PS. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Keep going. Go on.
And it just has a whole bunch of ROMs on it, and it's apparently running Linux. I haven't cracked it open yet, but you boot it up, and it just gives you this bare bones menu, and you click through, and it just says like, the file name, like not even the game name, but the file name.
That's fucking
and-
fantastic.
And it has all of this bootleg art for it. So like the TMNT NES game has the art for that is the Michael Bay movie. So it's the poster for that.
Well, I was wondering because on the Soldier Boy website they had a picture of the Tomb Raider reboot, but I'm guessing you can't play the new Tomb Raider games on this.
No, it has Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Genesis,
Fuck.
Mega Drive. No, not Mega Drive, Master System. Some PS1 games, but if you click the PS1 icon, there's only one game. It's Pro Evolution Soccer 1990, whatever. But then there's a SD card option, and it comes with an SD card. When you click through, there it just has a folder called PS1 game, and you click through it. It has a bunch of .bin files, like Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3 and Bash, but not 1. Resident Evil 3, but none of the others. Final Fantasy 9, but none of the others. It's
Okay.
fucking
hold on.
amazing.
Hold
There's
on.
no Nintendo 64 games.
Does this thing have internet? Does it have
No.
the
Of
capability?
Of course
okay,
not. That would require components.
Like,
I was going to say the malware that's probably on this fucking thing.
did you ever wonder, hey, there's definitely no way you can emulate NES games so poorly that there's massive screen tearing, right? Well, you'd be fucking wrong, because, dude,
Is
I was
it-
playing Game Boy Advance games, and that screen was splitting in two.
Yeah.
weird.
Ooh.
Is it weird that I kind of want a Soldier Boy console now?
A Soldier game.
Soldier game? Soldier game?
I think it's
Would you
called
say the PS1 Classic has competition? Should Sony be worried?
This
I
thing,
mean-
this thing makes the PS1 Classic look like fucking PS4.
That's fucking fantastic. How much did it cost? How much did you pay for this?
We paid $85 for it.
Oh, so it's a steal then.
Yeah, it's almost half the price of how Soldier Boy's selling it for $200.
Yeah,
on his website.
On SoldierWatch.com, the website that this is sold through, apparently it's $149.99. Right
Oh yeah,
now,
it's on
so.
sale right now.
Okay, so Alex has the website up. Alex,
Can't
what
pass
else
those
is on
prices up.
We
also-
have the Soldier headphones wireless Bluetooth, which are $38.26. That's
Those
the
are fake
actual
AirPods.
price. No, the fake AirPods are the Soldier Pods, which are $9.99.
Oh, those ones. He's also selling a Soldier phone, which is just a really shitty rebranded Android phone.
It just says Soldier Phone HT70, which I think is just the brand of another.
Okay. How is he not getting sued up his ass for all this?
Because they shut Emu Paradise down. They shut these emulator sites
like,
down.
How is this still up? How does this still exist?
Do you
The
think
Soulja
that
Watch is
anybody at Nintendo or Sony is paying attention to what Soldier Boy does?
Nintendo? Absolutely.
But I didn't realize this. In the year of our Lord 2018, Soldier Boy has like stands. Like he has like super like if you watch, like we put up a review video of it up today, and we put a tweet where someone said like, "Yo, Soldier Boy's out here making moves. He's gonna be the next Bill Gates." Like
will
people
say-
are like, we were talking shit on our live show, and like people who watch us were like staunchly defending him, and he's an entrepreneur. He's out here trying to make it.
Oh my god, I missed.
Anybody with a Discover card and a high credit limit could do the exact same shit he's doing. Like,
I will say that when I Google search Soldier Boy console, the GameRanx video was the #1.
Yes. You guys are good. Actually, you know what, Tom? In a weird way, I think you guys are going to do more to sell that console to people than Soldier Boy ever could.
We ended it and we said like, well, in the end, we fucked up and he won because we're here talking about it. So,
Soldier Pods. Jesus Christ.
So I just want to do a quick update. My boy Justin, who couldn't be on the podcast tonight because he was going to see Spider-Verse, he says it's a perfect movie and a rare one I walked out of knowing immediately it's one of my all-time favorites.
yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm looking
Oh,
forward
yeah.
to it. I had tickets for
Really?
tonight, but I refunded them so I could be here and talk to you chuckle fucks.
Look at that! Look at this guy! Look at this guy! Look at this guy right here! This guy's a fucking G right here.
Committed.
I take back every fucking thing I've said about your awful Octopath Traveler anti-propaganda. Like I take it
Look,
all back.
We both like old Final Fantasy games. That's all that matters.
your tweets during the Game Awards were much appreciated, by the
They-
way.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, by the way, real quick, and then we're gonna get into the Game Awards talk. Was that you running that fucking parody Game Awards account?
No, it
We
wasn't.
had-
I wish it
What?
was. Yeah, no, I thought it was you.
No,
No, it wasn't me.
Who was it?
Fuck, we don't know now.
we could swear it was you.
Dude, we literally were like, oh, that Tom Johnson, he's running a fucking. He's
I
running
thought it was you.
Holy shit, that wasn't you.
That's
No, it wasn't
hilarious,
me.
yo.
What the fuck?
For what it's worth, it does seem very on brand for me and something I would do.
Yeah, I mean,
because
why
you kept tweeting like about Octopath Travel, or not you, but like that account kept saying like, can we pull up, Derek? Can you pull up some of the tweets
Look,
real quick?
I do
I'll
not
I'll
have
tell you the
ability to do
same
that.
thing I said.
At the
I'll tell you the
Game
same-
Awards.
Yeah, I'll tell you the same thing now as I told you on the Night of the Game Awards. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say, but what I will say is I can't say that I didn't vote for Octopath Traveler, but I also can't say that I didn't sit in a room and yell at everyone that I would walk out if we did vote for Octopath Traveler.
Okay, so
Sam
I've
is
got
saying
the
it's
tweets-
wout, by the way.
I've got the tweets up now. Okay, I've got the tweets up now, and this thing tweeted at me multiple times. It said the first tweet was best role-playing game did not go to Octopath Traveler, despite at Mr. Megative's illegal attempt to vote for it twice. Then Octopath Traveler didn't win best soundtrack, despite at Mr. Megative screaming into the void, but it's really good. And then award for failing terribly at Overcooked 2 competition during the Kind of Funny Vids game tournament at Mr. Megative. I literally like, dude, I thought it was you.
No,
I don't know
I
who
thought it
this
was
is.
you.
No, it's apparently wout, according to Sam.
Is it
So,
WoW?
Okay.
That's what Sam's
That
saying.
makes
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
That fucking slimy Dutchman.
If it is Wout, we're gonna fucking exchange words, he and I, motherfucker. I love you, Wout. So speaking of Game Awards, there's a lot to discuss, and obviously we haven't had a chance to do so yet. And I'll loop Alex in because he's our big guest tonight. Alex, did you guys watch the Game Awards live? I can't remember if you streamed it or if you were just watching with friends.
We did. Scott White, Mike Burgess, and myself, who are two other Irrational Passions members. We watched it. We had commentary. We had a couple clips come out of that too. And we had a good time. It was a good show.
It was really long.
It was really long. I mean, I feel like it was shorter than previous years, though.
Was it
my
though?
takeaway.
Like I felt like it was longer. I felt like it was at least half an hour longer than last year's.
I have no idea. They all bleed together in my eyes. I had a great time though. I was like pretty into it the whole time. There was only a couple instances where I was kind of out of it.
This is the best show they've put on so far.
I would agree.
As far
with
as like an award show and like a event. This is
Was
I
anybody
think
else
they've done.
waiting for Joseph Ferris to just go completely off the rails again?
I was tense
Dude.
as hell when he went on stage.
The very beginning where he comes out right at the start. Now you couldn't see because we weren't on camera when we did our live stream, but the entire time he's on camera, I'm like,
My ass was
I'm puckered up.
Yeah.
Like I am. This is about to go.
Like, Joseph Ferris walked out, and I just heard it was either Derek or Justin who said, "I just heard an audible, oh Christ." and
That was me.
So
I think.
was it you? Okay,
I think it was me.
I hope in future they give an entire segment that's hosted by Joel McHale and Joseph Ferris.
Oh no! Like, ooh.
That's my personal hell.
That's my personal fantasy.
So let's talk about the So Red Dead Redemption cleaned up at the Game Awards
Fairly well, yeah.
fairly
It didn't
well.
sweep as much as people thought. I mean, like the fact that it didn't take Game of the Year, like really curtailed a lot of the Red Dead completely
good
swept
about
it.
Yeah.
I felt good about that.
You know, but yeah, it did really well. Because what did it take? Best narrative, right?
It's
Best performance.
Best performance.
Best
And then
Best
best
score.
score, which is the only one I will completely contest personally.
Yeah,
but
I'm not a big fan of that one.
Yeah.
So I've pumped like 25-30 hours into Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm like fucking nowhere near the end. But I can't remember a single memorable track.
Oh, see, you're not there yet, John. You're not there.
That's what I've heard.
I finished it. So I'm one of the. I took the opposite turn with this game, where everyone else was in love with this game when it launched. Now they all hate it. Where I fucking hated this game for like 3 weeks after launch, and now it's my game of the year. So that's where I'm at.
So can we at least agree, though, Tom? Can we at least agree, and everybody else in the panel, that even if you don't like Octopath Traveler, like it should have won that soundtrack.
I don't agree.
No, Celeste should have won.
Celeste, I think, should have been up there. So what I said on Twitter was it's crazy to me that Red Dead was even on that list, because like Monster Hunter World had a significantly better soundtrack overall. Oh, that's no good. I don't know what just happened to the show there for a second. Anyway, Monster Hunter World. Yeah, I don't know the display dropped for a second. It's fine. We got it.
That's fine. We're on
Monster
brand.
Hunter World had a significantly better soundtrack. Should have been on that list of 5. And also should not have won. So wait, it happened again. What the hell?
Can I just say, like, there was a game that wasn't on that list that should have won?
What is?
What the
Fuck
hell?
yes.
But
agree with you 100%.
you know,
Yeah, how good is that opening track to Tetris Effect?
there's no bad song in Tetris Effect, and I'll fight anyone that says there is.
Dude,
Uh,
Tetris
my man.
Effect is the only puzzle game to ever like literally get me emotional.
Y'all have
Like-
no excuse to not buy that game already, because it is now $20 on fucking Amazon.
Yeah, if you're one of those people that thinks $40 is too much to spend on Tetris, I just don't want to talk to you. But I agree. I think of that list, Celeste was the one that kind of spoke to me the most. I think it's very simple, but it's very it's a very good one of those soundtracks. I've not played a lot of Red Dead. I just am completely indifferent on it. I have no opinion. But
So I think so here I've been wanting to talk about this all week. When you get into the category, something really bothered me that night, and it was the way that Mortal Kombat 11 was announced.
Mhm.
Because it was Ed Boon came out to present the award for best racing game. Was it sports game? Best sports
Sports
and
Flash
racing.
Not fighting.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
fighting game, but sports game. And then he says, and the winner goes to, and then the fucking electricity comes in, and it's Raiden and Scorpion fighting to that terrible fucking choice of a song. I
Okay,
don't
it's a
know what-
good song, but it's a bad choice for that
really
track.
like the
Uh,
music
it's-
with that trailer.
It's
Oh, the
bad for
music is
trailer.
good. The music is good, but it didn't fit the trailer at all.
Oh, not
I
at
like
all.
It was a
With
little
the
weird.
trailer a lot. I thought they fit really well.
I
honestly.
didn't like it, man.
I get Mortal Kombat's like hip hop vibe that they do with a lot of their marketing. I don't I'm mixed on that particular track to that particular trailer. But
when like he punches him and the music cuts in, I thought it was perfect. And like the pacing of
the Super Bowl cut.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pacing of the fight with the pacing of the rap, I thought was perfect.
But that's
personally.
not even. But that's not even the issue I really had with the it's the way that it kind of, I felt like it marginalized the best sports racing game.
They dunked on that category.
Yeah, I felt like it was a total dunk on that category. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that was a really, like, if I like what Forza Horizon 4 won, if memory serves me correctly, and if I was the developer, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
you kind of dunked on my award there, like I
Well,
felt
you didn't have to worry because none of the developers went to pick up the award anyway. It was
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
fucking, was it Aaron Greenberg, if I remember?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Aaron
It
Greenberg.
was Greenberg.
That was
Yeah.
something that I was,
That was
like,
weird.
yeah, like, why is Aaron Greenberg up there? Like, every other award, I don't remember anybody, like, he was the only actual exec who accepted an award, I believe. Like, I believe, like, Christopher Judge, no, I'm sorry, they were presenting the guy who voiced Arthur Morgan, for example. He went up there and he got his award. Corey Barlog went up there and he got his 2 awards. Sean Layden didn't get him. Shuhei Yoshida didn't go up and get him. So I thought him accepting that award was very strange.
For what's worth, they probably didn't want to fly all those people out from Liverpool.
As
Yeah, I guess
somebody made the point too, like, since Forza has never won the
An
best
award like
sports
that?
racing.
Has it really never won an
No,
award?
so I mean, they probably just assumed they were going to get passed over again, and didn't want to waste the money in their minds flying everyone out there for an award they weren't going to win. So they might have been caught with their pants down in that regard. But yeah, it would have been. So the whole concept of like interrupt the thing to do the Mortal Kombat reveal is probably fine. It would have been much better if it had been more on topic to like fighting games. But there's also no best fighting game. Like it maybe would have been better in front of like best esports competitor, or
Best
something
esports
like that.
game.
What do you mean there's no best fighting game?
Well, is there not a best fighting? There's not like a category for best
Yeah,
fighting
there's
game.
Dragon Ball Fighters one. They did
Yeah,
it. One of
Dragon
those
Ball,
ones.
yeah.
they gave
How did I forget that?
They
How
did
did I
those
miss that?
interstitial,
It was
like-
one of those like speed rolls where they just went
Oh,
through like
well,
5.
see,
award.
Yeah,
Like,
they should have. See, I missed it. It went by so quick.
And
then,
you know what's
so
really weird when they do that? They did that for best multiplayer game.
Yep.
Which I thought was very strange because that's a huge category.
somebody pointed out. Somebody on our cast pointed out that every category that had Fallout 76 involved got marginalized.
Direwolf in the chat also says Forza won that award in 2016.
Did they? Well, then who was
2017.
saying that they hadn't?
I don't know if it wasn't me, but I legitimately didn't think they had.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know what else, at least for racing games, I don't know what else would have won in those past years, but I know FIFA's really big, so I'm surprised that
Rocket League won 1 year. For
Yeah,
best
because
race.
it's sports
Rocket League
and
was
it's
like
racing.
2014 though, right?
I think it was a while ago. Yeah, it was a few years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a little bit messy doing Mortal Kombat in that regard.
So something else. So something else. While we're on the subject of game reveals and stuff, like I felt like the reveals that we had for the Game Awards show this year were, I don't know, kind of a mixed bag. Like I don't feel like anybody saw, for example, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 coming. I didn't see that at all. And
but that's the most hype announcement of the show almost. Are you kidding me?
Certainly
Team
did
Ninja
not-
and Nintendo? Like,
I certainly did not expect that to be fucking exclusive to the Switch.
What do you
Also,
mean
how
Team Ninja and Nintendo? Are you forgetting Other M?
yeah, the problems with Other M had nothing to do with Team
trying
Ninja. That's all, what's his name? Sakamoto, if you ask me.
I'm trying to forget.
But you should be able to, like, the fact that they didn't put developed by Team Ninja and published by Nintendo themselves, like, front and center in that trailer, to me, mind-boggling. Because I was already kind of interested, but thought, this is, and then that detail came out, and I was like,
It's like a continuation of Nintendo making like the weirdest moves, but kind of like the coolest moves.
Yeah,
it
really
I
is.
love it.
It really is. Like I would not have guessed that. And I loved like because Jeff knew that that's one of the ones that didn't leak, and he was so
He was into
incredibly
it.
amazingly smug about it. I would have been just as smug. He was like, well, nobody saw. He's like literally like, this one didn't leak, motherfuckers. Here it is.
Like,
Yeah.
what'd you think it was gonna be? Metroid, you dumb shits.
yeah.
Like, oh my god, dude. So let's talk about fucking Metroid. So I was told by no less than 3 people who have gotten a lot of shit right in the past. I won't name drop them here, that Metroid is coming. Like this is the time that Metroid is going to be announced. And then Liam Robertson I asked Lane Robertson, I was like, what happened to Metroid? He was like, I'm telling you right now, it was never going to be there. I don't know why everybody fucking thought it was going to be there. He was like, here's the thing. He was like, Metroid Prime Trilogy HD exists. It is 100% a thing. He's like, I've seen it. I know it exists. I don't know why they didn't announce it there, but I'll tell you right now, like it's coming. They just didn't announce it there. But he was also like, I don't know why all the reliable guys, and they were all reliable guys. He's like, I don't know why all the reliable guys thought that it was going to be there, because he was like, nobody ever told me that. And
it's a Nintendo disinformation campaign.
It must
like
be.
how when the government tries to tell us that wrong things about aliens, John.
It's the fucking hollow moon, guys.
It's the hollow fucking moon.
It's the fucking.
We come full circle or full
Just like
globe.
the moon.
Yeah. Well, it's round. The moon. No, not the Earth.
But
I was very disappointed that Metroid wasn't there, especially since I know it exists. I still think that's their February game, Metroid Prime Trilogy, and I think it'll probably be announced at the Direct in January, because Nintendo likes to drop these things pretty quick sometimes. But I don't know, we'll see. But I was very disappointed that Metroid wasn't there. Was there anything else there that you guys expected to see and didn't get?
Remember when they brought the Russo brothers out and they didn't show that Square Enix?
Oh,
yeah.
How
No,
about
the Square Enix Avengers game is, to me, the biggest, because I know there were rumors about Metroid Prime 4 and Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, but that Square Enix Avengers project is, like, we were told a year and a half ago
longer,
that we were gonna get news this year. Y'all, it's December 13th and we've heard nothing about this game. There hasn't even been like an errant tweet about this still exists. So we've seen Shadow Rise, fucking whichever Tomb Raider game, Tomb Raider Reboot 3 come and go. Which
Jeff, were you hyped about this game at all? At one point,
the Avengers one.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's nothing to be hyped about. We know
yeah,
nothing.
I love the Marvel movies. Like, I'm a big nerd like everyone else. Like, I'm sure it'll be great, but it's Square, right? Like, I'm still waiting on my Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
this is not even fucking on my radar.
Not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
Well, and it's Crystal Dynamics that's working on this Square Enix Avengers.
Yeah,
show.
which is weird.
And they did that, and that's why Deus Ex is on hold, because that team, Eidos Montreal, right, was working on Tomb Raider instead so they had to put Deus Ex aside so that they could do Tomb Raider, because Crystal Dynamics was going to be busy doing Avengers. Well, Tomb Raider already came and went, and we've still not even heard anything beyond that, like, super early 2017 reveal teaser that was literally nothing. So I think that being missing is a very interesting sign.
My big joke for the last like 6 months at our office was like, yo, that game is just going to be a new Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. And then they announced an actual Ultimate Alliance game, so I was like, fuck, man, I don't know.
I don't know what that game's going to be.
The only thing I have, like, outside of the whole Square being Square scenario or the development hell, is like, if somehow one of the partners or Marvel decided that this is going to tie into the MCU or be based on the MCU, which is weird because their Spider-Man game was completely separate for that. I don't think that's an avenue they go, but maybe they need to get Avengers 4 out the door and get people to see that before they can start. Like, I know this one originally had Captain America's shield and stuff like that in the teaser trailer, but maybe plans changed and they're kind of shifting it to focus on whatever their plans are for the next. I don't know. If it's like actually, if development's going well and they're still not showing it, it's one of the only things I could think of that would be a reason to hold it back.
So here's the thing. So we know very recently that Square Enix lost a lot of money on the Luminous engine, right?
Yeah.
A lot of money. Like I can't remember the exact amount, but it was it was in the.
It's like $360 million.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a fucking lot of money. It was
Was the Luminous one, was that was Final Fantasy 15, right?
Yeah, that was 15.
Which they literally only use for that because Kingdom Hearts is fucking UE.
Yeah. And the thing is that, like, Final Fantasy 15 ended up being like, I think it's now the second or highest third selling in the entire series. So that game didn't lose them any money, but the Luminous engine has cost them a ton of fucking money.
Yeah, it doesn't port well either.
Yeah, it doesn't port well at all. And
it's like shit on PC.
I was half-heartedly joking around. I was like, oh, they're going to cancel Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know they're not going to, but I think if there was a game that was on the chopping block, it's fucking Avengers. I'm not even sure that game fucking comes out.
So
I think that game doesn't come out. Marvel sues them into the fucking ground.
Yeah. So here's the problem. everything, all the little bits of buzz we've heard about this game, right, all seem to point that it's intended to be like a big online service game multiplayer type thing, which does not make sense for the Avengers IP.
Agreed. I thought that was weird.
It's really confusing, and yet that is what we continue to kind of hear the whispers on the wind. So I wonder if maybe they were like, Avengers is big, and we want to make a big online, it'll make us $1 bajillion if we combine these two things, and they announced it and they hadn't fully thought out what the fuck they were doing.
Well, because the big problem is in an Avengers game, you want to play as the Avengers,
yeah,
but nobody wants to fucking be Captain America, run around with 10 other Captain Americas. But you also don't want to play as like a custom nobody because you want to play the fucking heroes.
I think it's like playing the fucking like that Marvel arcade
Heroes
machine back in the day. No, the arcade machine where whoever gets to it last gets stuck playing his fucking Vision, and no one wants to.
Nobody. Or Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye. Yes.
But
I don't know, man. I would give this one a solid. If there was any game that I would guess might be on the chopping block, it would be this one. Like after almost 2 years of hearing nothing, like literally fucking nothing, it's starting to sound like a fucking Fable Legends or Scalebound scenario where it's like, okay, well, you know what, the cost of development, it just doesn't justify what we're trying to do with this game. Plus, like, you know, this is the final Avengers movie, right? Like you would have figured, like, why would you bring the Russo brothers?
It is the final Avengers movie in its current incarnation. There will be like 38 more Avengers movies.
Well, that's true, but my thing is more like why were the Russo brothers even there?
Why was Christoph Waltz there? Why was Jonah Hill there?
The Russo brothers in general, they're in LA, and he already has a relationship with them because he interviewed them at E3 Coliseum this year.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Well, and wasn't the Avengers trailer originally supposed to release on Wednesday, the day before, and it got delayed?
Then that fucking war criminal had to get fucking buried.
I know, right?
So I can't get mail and then lose an Avengers trailer.
And then everybody was like, after all that happened, everybody's like, well, here we go. Like, you know, they're going to fucking announce the Avengers game, and then the trailer's going to drop on top of it. We're getting all this fucking Avengers goodness and nothing.
We got Ultimate Alliance 3, though.
I'm
just happy about that.
What was that?
I'm just happy about that.
So am I. I fucking love Ultimate Alliance, dude. We're gonna stream the shit out of that.
It's a great Switch game, local co-op, like local multiplayer.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I can't fucking wait. That's gonna be a great co-op game.
Oh, one more thing that was missing was they still haven't brought back Schick Hydrobot.
I'm okay with that.
I'm ready to watch Schick Hydrobot fuck on stage.
Lady Schick Hydrobot in the new commercials.
Oh my god, this is going.
I met Schick Hydrobot once.
I see the
was he as toned and muscular in person as he appears on television?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He was a literal sex machine.
Schick Hydrobot is
just
like, I'll agree on that.
Who wins the ab matchup between Schick Hydrobot and the Mothman?
Mothman.
Okay.
Because Mothman has rippling exposed abs. Schick Hydrobot, I'm not sure if he's in a suit or
No,
not.
Mothman.
Okay.
Because Schick Hydrobot only knows how to love. He doesn't know how to hate. But I'll say the one announcement that I saw as a Game Awards announcement that leaked a while ago was the Harry Potter game. I thought that would be a Game Awards announcement. It didn't end up being a Game Awards announcement.
I was convinced that was going to be an E3 announcement.
Okay.
I didn't really, because that's not that game is not coming. There's the Mothman. Wow, he does have fucking abs. Holy shit!
Where is this? Is this in the comments?
It's in the Discord chat.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Oh wow! God, look at that!
Dude, his abs have abs.
Look at his abs. Look at that chest hair.
Yeah, but look at the love in Schick Hydra's blinks.
Yeah.
Like, you think Schick Hydrobot is a gentle lover?
I know, but I think he's a satisfying lover.
This podcast is fucking weird.
Yeah.
And so like here's Tom. Oh, I just looked, so I got freaked out for a minute. I looked in the chat. I was like, "There's a shitload of code." Oh, it's just Tom putting the picture of the fucking
Mothman in there.
Google link.
So like, I totally lost my train of thought because I've got the Mothman's abs on my mind.
Harry Potter video game.
I'm all
Harry Potter video game, which looks badass, and I want to see more of it.
Great.
Yeah,
it looks great, but that's a PlayStation 5, Xbox One, 2, whatever they're gonna call a game. That's not coming this gen.
Xbox Orange, whatever.
I want to believe it comes out soon, but
Sam and Chad actually made a good point. We were supposed to get a Dreams beta this year.
There's still time.
Wasn't that
Jeff is on that train,
time.
baby.
Wasn't that a Game Informer cover story this like a month ago?
Yeah, it was about that, maybe 2 months ago. But I was convinced that we were going to see that either at the Game Awards or at the Kind of Funny
Game Showcase,
which was fucking amazing, by the way. Like, props to Greg and Tim and Kind of Funny and all the work they did. Like, that was
That was a really especially for spotlighting the indie games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
that was great.
There was a ton of stuff there that I had never even heard of. Like, and some of it had trailers 6 months ago, and it just wasn't on my radar. So it was cool to like bring that to a bigger audience that might not have heard of them.
Plus,
Yeah.
Alex featured in the fucking in the opening trailer, man.
Yeah.
That was dope, man. I caught you in Blessing in there, dude. That was awesome.
That was a cool thing.
I was really into the Game Awards showing games that were announced years ago as world premieres.
Yeah,
as
that
new
was
games.
that's
Like that chimp game.
yeah, that fucking what did you talk about the
Ancestors
one
or whatever it was called.
yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like that looks kind of dope. Like
Yeah, it does.
It'll be an
I
interesting
think
like AA kind of title. There's a lot of really interesting like AA level titles and indie titles that got announced, which I was actually more excited to see that than a bunch of AAA stuff. Because the AAA stuff is going to catch attention, but getting to show off stuff like what was the name of the new game from the
Obsidian?
No Man's Sky devs?
oh, that looks really good.
Oh, the short. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the new fucking it's Obsidian's right new
Obsidian
game.
The Outer Worlds or something like that.
Yeah.
That
But
looks.
which one's the Outer Wilds?
The Outer is that what I'm thinking about? It's the Obsidian.
Outer Worlds is the Obsidian game.
Outer Worlds is the Obsidian game.
Okay.
Then the one by Hello Games, the No Man's Sky dev, that looks fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I got like a serious Journey vibe from it, from the
Yes.
characters.
Yeah.
They look like little chibi Journey characters.
Mhm.
But I don't know what it's about, but that game looks fucking fantastic. I'm surprised that
The
they're
Last
actually coming out with
Campfire.
something that isn't
I
No
think-
Man's Sky.
I think it's the perfect kind of game for them to start rebuilding that trust with. I mean, they've already done a lot with No Man's Sky and those massive free updates that they continue to support that with. But in terms of putting out a new game, I think it's good for them to start small because they clearly bit off a lot more than they could chew with No Man's Sky in terms of what they promised versus what they delivered. So I feel like there's a much less margin from error, like looking at this trailer, in terms of reception versus promise. But I hope it does well.
It's called the Last Campfire.
The Last
There we go.
That's it.
It's cool because like it is like two people from Hello Games splintering off and doing that while the rest of the team presumably
Mhm.
continues to work on No Man's Sky. So it's a cool idea. It's like something that they can do feasibly, and it looks like a good story.
Do we know how big their team is now? Is it because it was like originally around like 8 or 10 for a long time? I imagine they've scaled up.
15-ish, like 18-ish.
Okay.
It's not huge by
Yeah.
any means.
So I like the distinction of it being a Hello Game short.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that best content creator, boys?
All right, moving on.
Hey,
So-
at least he already milkshake ducked before the thing.
Yeah, I will say this. So this actually, I could kind of segue into something that I really liked about the show using this. So here's what I'll say about Ninja. Okay,
Here we
he
go.
seems to genuinely be trying to clean up his act and move into better and more respectful territory. And I can respect that. He wants to push back against the way that he used to be. He did like an interview recently about, no, you're not getting the old Ninja back. You're not getting, that sort of more aggressive and shouty and like everything cringy and terrible about streamer culture back.
The only
other
time
than
he
how
gets
is.
aggressive is when he says, "I will never stream with a woman."
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. So I want to be convinced that he is cleaning up his act, but at the same time, you look at him getting up on stage, giving this very sanitary kind of acceptance speech, and then you look at Sonic Fox. And to me, Sonic Fox was a high point. Sonic Fox came out there, and he's a little bit awkward at first, but he's very genuine. And then he comes right out and just, I'm black, I'm gay, I'm a furry, fucking Republicans hate me. And then he spends the next several days just on a carpet bombing campaign against right-wing Twitter, dunking
hell yeah.
on Ian
That
Miles
said,
Chong left and right.
Only one of those people streamed with both Kim.com and Anthony Scaramucci's son. So
Wait, hold on.
What?
Ninja streamed with Anthony. What?
Yeah, he's a Long Island asshole. Of course, I know all about this guy. I've got my finger on the pulse, being a fellow Long Island asshole myself. Hold on 1 second. Talk
God,
amongst yourself
of
while I dig this out.
course, there's got to be more of that. But so here's my thing: whether or not you want to believe that Ninja's cleaning his bullshit up, which I only am halfway believing. Even without this that you're bringing up, like you look at Sonic Fox, right? Sonic Fox actually used his opportunities up on stage to be genuine and also make a fucking point, you know. And when my thing is, if you're a like community member or leader or personality and you're trying to push back against an image that you are regressive or not friendly and not open to all types of people, that you are not accepting, maybe, you know, use your platform to push back against that. And Ninja did not. Versus Sonic Fox, like I said, it was beautiful to see him on Twitter for days, just
I'm not gonna
demolishing
lie. I
people.
barely knew who he was, and like that, like I followed him the next morning because I was like, this guy's
I've been following the Dragon Ball Fighter scene for a while, and he's been pretty cool.
He's great. He's great.
In general. And he was shitting all over Ian Miles.
Oh, it was beautiful because Ian was trying, and it was just, and I want to see more people in the community who are big, who have that level of platform. Like, and that's the thing, Ninja will never do shit like that. Ninja will never actually call out the hate mongers and the harassers in the gaming sphere. You know, and there's not enough. Well, yeah, but like we also don't have the platform that someone like Sonic Fox does. So it's just it's a great contrast point to me.
Like the cool thing about Sonic Fox, because I followed him after he won the Fighters final at Evo, but like he's a dude, he's been going to Evo and he's been doing fighting games for a while, and he has been winning tournaments for a very long time. Like, but he plays quote unquote games that nobody cares about. Like that was always kind of his corner. Like he would play a lot of Arc System Works games and things like that. And I learned this because like when I saw him play at Evo, I was like, man, this dude is just good, and I want to know his story. And he's like been doing this for a while, and Dragon Ball FighterZ, a game that he's very good at, just so happened to be the #1 show at Evo today, or this year, I should say. Yeah. And you know, that final with him and Goichi is like very good. If you want to just go and watch that, like it's literally
so hype.
He wins 3 games, Goichi wins 3 games, and then he wins 3 games. It is as intense as it could be. And the best part is like right after that on Twitter, he said like, I know if I sat down and played 3 more games with Goichi, he would have won all 3. And he's just like that. He's just a dude who likes fighting games, and he's always been that. And when you see him on stage at the Game Awards, he doesn't seem like anything but that. He seems like a guy who has played video games for a long time, made a lot of friends through video games for a very long time, and just loves video games. And also knows he's the fucking shit. And I love that. And he's just like, he is a dude that I would love to hang out with. And I don't necessarily feel the same about Ninja.
So my, honestly, like, you know, while we're on the subject of individuals in the gaming community, personally, my favorite moment of the entire show was seeing Steve Spawn.
Oh yeah,
my boy.
Steve is a fucking probably one of the greatest inspirations that I've had in the entire industry. Just because of the way he's changed people's lives for the better for years. And of course, you know, I've been one of the voices on Twitter. So if some of you guys been like, why don't we, how about we recognize Steve Spawn, right? Like, how about we fucking recognize him for all the work he's done for disabled gamers across the world? Like the fucking Xbox adaptive controller is a work of art. Like the way it has changed gamers' lives, you know, is just you can't even put it into words. And just finally see him get the recognition that he deserves on that kind of a platform, like got me fucking emotional. Like right in the middle of our stream. Like that was, I'd been waiting to see that. I mean, Derek, you were there. I was like, yeah. You know, like
I was getting a little choked up. Like it was a great reel about him. That whole and I mean the story about him with his guidance, which I'd never heard, and I don't know if he's ever spoken about in other interviews or anything, but the story of him with his like guidance counselor in high school and being basically told just go home and be comfortable till you die. Just go home and die. Like that was heartbreaking. Like, you know, and it goes to show like I mean, I was choked up. You can hear in my voice definitely at the end of that I was choked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was man, what a fucking moment that was. And I think we can all agree that even though God of War won best game, that really the true winner that night was Fortnite.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, you're gonna say Detroit Become Human.
No, not Detroit Become Human. It's
The
all-
Game Awards is what I thought that E3 would be, where it was just Battle Royale and Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh.
Who here remembers the moments where I literally got 2 Fortnite commercials back to back
Yeah.
near the end of the show?
Yeah.
Like how much money do you guys think Epic poured into getting those? Because I mean, literally every break there was every break.
Dude,
I counted.
Epic was spending
felt like
money all
Yeah.
night. They got
Every
they
content
got-
creator was Fortnite. Like,
Yeah, they got all those exclusives on the Epic Game Store. Like they got stuff.
And that right there ties into what my biggest problems with the show were, because it was much better than years past, but again, it's not everything is always wine and roses, and of course the show had problems as well, and I felt like one, the pacing near the the first half of the show, like with the front end was great, paced perfectly, and things really started falling apart near the back end, especially after all the advertising. Like I understand that advertising is important, and that's how the Game Awards gets most of its funding is from advertising. But man, it was getting fucking obnoxious. Near the
John,
end.
you needed to know about that new Dead by Daylight character.
Jeez.
Friday the 13th, whatever the fuck that
Yeah.
game was.
What was that Friday the 13th?
No, they killed Friday the 13th, so it's Dead by Daylight.
Oh, okay, all right.
Everything Friday the 13th related is dead now, I think.
Yep.
No, I thought the pacing was like pretty good overall. I just think it was too long.
It was
Like
at least-
most award shows.
Yeah.
It was way too well, because we got to the point where like we were streaming it and we were like, fuck. Like Derek was like, I gotta go. I'm tired. I'm like, I was like, I gotta go to bed.
to do.
Like I
You guys
gotta
are on
go
the
to
East
bed.
Coast. I was fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, just like like we all should have filtered off and just left Jeff there to watch it himself and talk to himself and comment by himself. But I don't know, like Alex, was there anything about the game show or about the Game Awards that you didn't like, that you thought could maybe stand for some improvement next year?
Honestly, like I had a really good time for most of it. I think like to me it's more about I think things like the best content creator category got to go. Like I think that
Yeah.
that has to stop. Like because in 6 months, if we're talking about Ninja cheating on his wife, like I just can't again. Like I can't do this again.
The only person who hasn't fallen to that curse is Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Greg Miller is the only one who has not fallen.
Because with the
victim.
last 2 years we got before this, it was Boogie and then Dr. Disrespect, right?
Oh god, I forgot that Boogie won.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great fucking look nowadays, isn't it?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like I think what you do is you gut that category and you do this stuff like the Facebook gaming moments like we got for like Steven Spawn and whatnot.
That's
and like
what I was.
those,
Yeah.
yeah, like let's not make this a contest. Let's not make this like a dick measuring contest. Like let's recognize people that are doing good things and sending a positive message to people. And that's it. Like it doesn't have to be about who's the best at doing that. It just has to be about, hey, you're doing something. I'm recognizing you.
I'm gonna.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Alex. No. Please go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I no, you're good. I think like just like that, and I think if you're gonna do a bunch of esports categories, you should at least do justice by them. Also, like one of my co-hosts on my show, Tony, he's like got way into League of Legends esports this year, where he hadn't before, and he was like, when we did like a big predictions show where we predicted what we thought would win all the Game Awards. And he brought like a lot of really interesting insight about a lot of those esports categories that I didn't have before. And there's a lot of really great nuance there, like everything I just said about Sonic Fox. There's like a really good story there, and I think he was the only part about all of those categories that really got to shine. And yet there are 6 or 7 of those categories.
Yeah, there's no context behind, like, they're talking about, like, best esports moment. It's like, you're not showing me any of this, and I don't know what you're talking. You can't just put those words on screen. I need to see, what you're talking about.
And you're doing a disservice to that, and it just feels crappy. Like, I know that's not what Jeff wants to do. Jeff wants to make an exciting show with exciting announcements and like a stage for developers to say thank you and also to like get recognition. And I think for the most part, he did that best this year than he has ever. But like those are the things I would improve overall. Like I really liked the pacing of the show. I really liked the announcements. I liked how they were worked in, save for maybe like the Mortal Kombat announcement, which I think could have worked just like in a different category.
Yeah.
And I liked the kind of energy that it had. It felt like good vibes versus years prior where some parts of it felt forced. Like the celebrity parts of it this year maybe felt a little forced, whatever. But for the most part, I thought it was good.
What is that Muppet shrimp? Like I don't even know what the hell that was.
All I know is
Isn't
he the one that in the meme that's like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief?
I don't know. Like, I have no fucking idea what that was at all. Like,
it's one of the Muppets. Like, I don't, it's
a Muppet shrimp. Like, it's a prawn, and it's there with Ninja, and it's taking selfies. And
the problem is that gag, like, it would have been fine, like in the Muppets, like for kids, but it's just not. It was a gag taken out of the Muppets and put into the Game Awards, and it's a very different audience, y'all. Like.
And by the 5th time he asked for a selfie of the crowd, I'm like, okay,
shelfie.
Or shelfie. I fucking refuse to say shelfie. I'm sorry. A selfie of the crowd. I'm not saying that fucking word. I was like, okay, I got it. His thing is he takes selfies. Okay, can we move on? Like this is that right? Like Ninja presenting with that shellfish like brought it to a slamming halt.
Yeah,
and it recovered. But man, that skit went on like 2 minutes longer than anything should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, go ahead.
I mean, we're not talking about the most exciting announcement of the night.
What's the most exciting announcement of the night?
Joker's coming.
Yeah, you want to talk about?
I don't care about Smash Brothers, but I love that.
This is the craziest thing that happened the whole night.
I watched that video like 30 times immediately after and still didn't believe it was real.
I still don't believe it's real.
I don't understand. And
that one got me.
That was the perfect intersection for Derek. Like, crazy competitive Smash person, obsessed with Persona. That happened. I was like what?
So, it's exactly the Cloud announcement all over again. And
but better because Joker's a good character.
All right.
Yeah, especially because like now this means anything can fucking happen.
Yeah, literally anything can happen, and that's exactly what Nintendo wants.
Let's go, Sub-Zero and Smash. Let's go.
Goku, where you at?
Meanwhile, Jeff is down in the corner as they're announcing Joker, and he's just thinking to himself, "It should have been Chie.
Chie best girl. Chie best girl."
I agree.
No,
I agree. Chie. No. Like if you ask me, John, are you Chie or Reese? I'm going to fucking pick Chie. Every time. I'm just.
It's the only option.
There's no front on that one. But so guys, so let me ask you this: so Joker and Smash, right? Does this mean, as people are speculating, and we haven't seen no evidence of course, because that's how the internet works. Does this mean that Persona 5 is bound for the Switch?
No.
No.
It's not a guarantee. I do think that it is a no-brainer choice if Atlas wanted. I mean, they could make it work.
5 Golden.
They could make it be like Persona 5 Crimson or something, but like just Persona 5, right? Like it would do well on Switch. So I think they should.
On a Switch, like it runs on a PS3. It'll run on a Switch.
They should
and
do
it. A 100-hour game is the perfect game to put on a Switch because that's the only way people are gonna fucking finish that.
Yeah. So I think it's reasonable.
I think Nintendo wants it to happen. I just don't think there are any guarantees in this situation.
Yeah. It's not a guarantee. It's reasonable. It's not like a surefire thing.
Well, I mean, we do know that there's Shin Megami Tensei 5 coming to Switch.
That's true.
It's 2019.
Well, I mean, the regular Shin Megami Tensei games always came to Nintendo. They always came to Nintendo. Yeah, Persona is the one that has been explicitly Sony from the beginning.
Yeah, we've gotten the Persona Q games on 3DS, but they're Mystery Dungeon spin-offs, so it's a little weird territory.
I think it might be time.
I think like Nintendo is trying to pry that door open by force, and like I said, they're making fucking moves. Like they got Civ 6, they got Into the Breach, they got Marvel Ultimate Alliance. They're making moves. So.
Well, and like look at the fact
that last week, the Persona 3, 4, and 5 dancing games came out for PS4 and Vita, but not
fucking Vita.
Yeah.
So Vita, dude, that thing still lives. It's still. I might be over there.
I will say, not that I want to get too deep into the topic, but one thing that I was very, very surprised did not happen at the Game Awards, because it was only like a couple days later, and it would have been perfect for the Game Awards, was Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Monster Hunter World got its big massive expansion, its ultimate version basically announced. And that, like, they even kind of like, wink wink, kind of acknowledged it at the Game Awards when they were up there, the three people from Capcom. But that would have been a very, very good Game Awards moment, and instead it was just randomly 2 or 3 days later, and it's just bizarre to me.
Man, I just cannot get into Monster Hunter. Like, I've tried so hard, and I can't.
It
man.
got so
Like,
far, but in the end, it didn't even matter.
it didn't even matter. You know, I tried so hard to do it all. You know, like I just.
Sorry,
No.
John, I ruined
No,
this
it's
show.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
He already ruined it. It's fine.
Shit posting like that is on brand for this podcast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, dude.
people have done far worse here.
But it seems weird to me that Game of the Year contender, like 10 plus million units sold on between consoles and Steam, right? You know, massive expansion.
Here's
not
the
a Game
thing.
Awards. So
They
weird.
knew they weren't going to win Game of the Year, so they were like, "No, fuck Jeff Keighley. We're going to do it our own way."
fuck the Oscars. Fuck the Oscars.
Exactly. I thought Schick Hydrobot was going to fuck the Oscars live on stage.
I actually, so that right there is like that's probably on Pornhub right now. The Chick Hydrobot fucking the actual Oscar.
Well, now that
The
we've
actual
mentioned it, it
statue.
is.
Like,
Oscar the Grouch, it's a different Muppet. It's fine.
it's fine, whatever. Like the Chick Hydrobot is gonna find something to fuck. Like that's
Yeah.
that's the bottom line.
The Mothman.
The Mothman. I
Tom
guarantee
over
you
there writing that fan fiction right now.
that's what Tom's doing right now. He's banging furiously on his keyboard right now, writing that shit.
Oh yeah.
It would be on my Tumblr, but they took that away from me. So
Yeah, they took all the dicks off it.
Is the Mothman picture, is that not safe for work?
I mean,
Like,
it's
are we
bare
paying-
nipples, so
It's
and I
safe
don't-
for the town square.
It's safe for the show, and that's what
Right.
matters.
You know, actually, you know what? One of the most surprising, or one of the most pleasant surprises of the night for me was when Dead Cells won Best Action Game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was up against games like Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Destiny 2, Far Cry 5, and Mega Man 11, which I would have been happy with a Mega Man 11 win because I love Mega Man. But I did not think Dead Cells had a fucking chance in hell against, like, you know, because it's fucking Call of Duty and you always expect Call of Duty to. But that was a incredibly I mean, have you guys played Dead Cells? Because if you haven't, you're fucking missing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's
haven't
fucking
yet.
great, dude. That
I
game-
think
wish
that and
Dead
then
Cells
Into the
worked for me.
Breach. Into the Breach won Best Strategy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was another good, like, you know, it's nice to see these indies like actually take some of those awards, because Into the Breach, similarly fantastic, and I think a must play. It's a contender for Game of the Year for me. I mean,
What else do we get? Best performance, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan. I was a little upset that either Christopher Judge or Yuri Lowenthal didn't win.
I'm a big, like, say what you will about Detroit. I'm not here to like start any fights here.
No,
but I am
no,
a
no.
very big fan of Brian
Connor.
Deckard's.
he gave a good performance. Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
I
good
like,
as hell.
I have a little bit of a man crush on Brian Deckard.
Oh, who
Like,
doesn't?
He's a beautiful, perfect looking man, and I think he crushed it. And I think this is the one thing Detroit should have won, and it didn't. So I was kind of bummed about that.
So-
Also, Yuri Lowenthal is a longtime voice actor, and Spider-Man
Yeah.
isn't even in his top performances.
Yeah,
so-
Yuri. That's the problem with Yuri Lowenthal is I hear Yuri Lowenthal and I just hear Yuri Lowenthal. Like,
Yeah, but
he's
dude, man.
everywhere.
Those final
He's
20 minutes of the game, man. Like between
oh, he
My
gives a great
brother-
performance, but
Yeah,
Oh, you
my brother
do?
is like a huge anime fan, and he stopped playing Spider-Man because he just couldn't deal with him.
it's a little weird. It's a little weird
weird.
because
He
he's
does a
in
great job,
like
but yeah, it's weird.
so much anime and video games. So it's really difficult. Yeah, not to hear. It's oh yeah. This is
So
a little
I've
distracting.
actually got a question. I've got a question for Alex. Alex, what if Brian Deckard voiced the Schick Hydrobot? Like, how would you feel about that?
I honestly, I think I have to
Tom
take a
was
cold
just
shower.
like, I didn't need this right now. I gotta readjust my waistband. Like,
Can you stop reading my dream journal, please?
Tumblr ends tomorrow. I have to get on tonight.
it's getting steamy in here. It's ooh. I'm
That's what
feeling-
I come here to bring the sexual tension.
No, that's fine. No, there's enough of that already, man.
Thank God.
This show always has some kind of weird sexual tension going
The
on.
show just oozes.
It really does. It really does. It oozes a lot of things. Best art direction. Return of Obra Dinn, which I still need to play.
I've not played it. Yeah, a lot of people were stoked about that.
It
Though.
deserved that though, because my goodness, it's a gorgeous, unique, weird game just to watch. I mean, you know, I was very happy with that choice.
Yeah.
Best ongoing game, which is a really weird way to say game as a service. Fortnite, of course. I don't think there's any fucking. We all knew, just like we knew Ninja was going to win Best Influencer. We knew that Fortnite was.
I thought Siege had a legitimate chance.
I thought it might have too, and I know Jeff was probably pulling for Siege deep in the cockles of his heart. Jeff is a big. Jeff, are you still playing Siege?
Off and on. I mean, I haven't played any games like the last 2 months, but
yeah, but you've been fucking moving.
No, it's. I think Siege has had a little bit of a rocky year this year. I haven't been playing as much as I used to, but there was that whole big thing with the China censorship thing, which really didn't go over well with the fans, and they said it was the only way they could do it. Then all of a sudden they backtracked, and there was another way. So, I don't think it's been Siege's strongest year, but definitely that game since it launched has been an incredible turnaround.
What else we got? Best family game, Overcooked 2. Fuck that game.
You love that game though.
Oh, that game can eat all of my ass, like my entire ass. It can eat. Overcooked 2 can eat all of it. I understand it's a good game and I love and people love it, but
just like Chick Hydrobot.
That's the game. Yeah, but that's the game. Just like Chick Hydrobot, that's the game that fucked me. Wait a minute. I didn't say that out loud. Best esports game, Overwatch, which kind of surprised me. I was expecting Fortnite, to be perfectly honest with you.
I was expecting League of Legends because I got to hear a lot about League of Legends esports this year.
Best debut indie game, The Messenger, which I'm fucking happy with because that game is
it's so good.
It's really fucking good. That game,
so good.
That is one of my that's in the running for my game of the year actually, and I was so excited to see the announcement for the DLC at the Kind of Funny on Saturday. Like, oh, I can't fucking wait.
Free. It's coming out next year. It's good.
Oh my god, dude, it looks so good. Best strategy game. I was. We already said that was Into the Breach. I would have been happy also with Valkyria Chronicles 4 because that game
me too.
Dope.
Yeah.
That game. Oh, Tom, I didn't know you played it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I played a ton of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I dropped about 60 hours into that game.
Yeah,
either would have been good for sure, but Into the Breach is just like, again, if you guys haven't played it, I mean, there's it's the same guys who did FTL, and similarly, like it's got those roguelike elements. You're supposed to replay and unlock, new teams and new pilots and new like alterations, and it's just like beautifully balanced for difficulty. I mean,
would you say
it's
that
a legitimately perfect Switch game?
Would you say that it's perfectly balanced?
As all things should be.
Yeah, that's that's what I was wondering. Okay, no, it sounds like it. Best VR game, Astrobot, which is apparently a game that I need to fucking play in the worst way. Everybody I fucking talk to, Alex, everybody is like, why?
I know. I have nothing against Astrobot. I'm just saying, there's another game on that list that. It's
what game? What are we talking about?
Weird porno
Tetris
game?
Effect.
The secret game of the year is what you're saying.
Secret game of the year, Tetris Effect.
There was a sale on Tetris Effect the other day. I don't know if you guys saw
it. There's a sale on Tetris Effect right now.
Oh, is it right now?
$20.
If anybody in chat has not played, I mean, that game is worth $60 in my opinion. Like Tetris Effect is fucking. I actually not that it'll sound like a little bit of a humble brag, but we've got like a 100-inch movie screen in the room over.
Well, we got a 100-inch movie screen in the room over.
I mean, I do. I'm just saying. And I played Tetris Effect on that fucking thing. And dude, like
I can't play that game without openly crying. I will tell you that right now. No shame.
I'm afraid that game might actually kill me if I try to play it in VR.
That game with the blacks on like an OLED TV, it is one of the most beautiful things I've ever looked at.
It's an incredible experience.
Well, like because the first stage you play, it's got that song from the trailer, that amazing song from the trailer.
Those sweet whales.
Those whales and oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. And that game, that right there is the reason I'm trying to needle my wife into let me buy a PSVR. Not for Astrobot, but so I can play Tetris Effect in VR.
It's worth it. I'll tell you this right here, right now. It's worth it.
Oh my god! Honey, if you're
listening. I think I actually prefer it outside of VR.
You're not the only person to say that, actually.
I have to be in the right headspace to play VR because it's very. I don't want to say overwhelming. It's very whelming. Yeah. But you're getting the full Tetris Effect.
It's whelming.
Play in VR.
Would you say that Tetris really affects you in VR?
God damn it, John.
You knew that was coming. And so game of the year, God of War. The The other contestants were Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, Marvel Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2. I had Red Dead Redemption 2 pegged in just because it was fucking winning everything else. But I am very happy that God of War won.
Here's my thing. So typically, the game that wins Best Game Directing wins Game of the Year as well.
Just like the Oscars.
Just like the Oscars. We had a very good conversation about it on my show. There was no way Red Dead was going to win Best Game Directing in a year where we talked about crunch. And that was just such a part of my like consciousness going into this that like the way everything played out, because if you look at all this nominees for Best Game Directing, you can tell like definitely all of them crunched, but like we don't know what the situation was like during the development of God of War. Although you can infer a lot of things from how Corey Barlog talks about the development of that game, but it was just clean enough where like we could pretend like there wasn't horrible crunch that went into that game.
Yeah.
Which that coupled with Game of Year.
I think anytime they thank the families of the developers for their patience, it's like okay,
not a good sign.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
So that was like my theory going into this of like God of War will win Game Directing and then Game of the Year, which turned out to be true.
I was good with Corey winning the Best Game Director. I had the chance, the very very cool privilege of like having like a long involved one-on-one conversation with him at PAX West, and that he was like listening to him tell a story about how he kind of like Kratos' evolution from God of War 3 into God of War for PS4 kind of mirrored his growth and maturity as an adult and as a father. Was really, really, really inspirational to hear. And so hearing stories like that from developers is incredible. And it really gave me even more appreciation for the game. So I was really happy for him, that he won. And then to see God of War win, which to me, like, just kind of encapsulated the fact that, let's face it, like, in my opinion anyway, God of War represents like probably one of the greatest reinventions of a franchise and a character that we've seen in the medium in the past decade.
I'm sorry, did you not play that new Bubsy game?
You fucking monster. but now I kind of want to play it actually.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't.
But
It's a mess.
Oh,
I really like the part where Bubsy goes back and gets his old gun from the first Bubsy.
Does he actually thing?
No.
Okay.
Bubsy had a gun.
I don't fucking remember anything about Bubsy other than that he was an ugly turd that screamed at the top of his lungs. And
hey, guess what? He still does that. And there's a meter. You have a slider for how often he quips.
Oh, nice. The quip slider.
What?
Yeah, there is a one-liner frequency slider in the options menu. No, don't do it.
Bubsy looks like somebody kidnapped a blind person, tied them to a chair made out of animals, put a helmet on their head filled with bees, and demanded that they draw a cartoon character based on their worst nightmare.
That's a lot of parameters.
Bubsy is the unholy, like that is how the Night Cervix opened up and gave Bubsy to us. Like that is.
Sure, that's actually how they made the Sonic the Hedgehog live action.
Yeah, true.
Oh my god, I can't fucking wait for this.
Yo, did you guys see the Ben Schwartz interview with Larry King that's been going around?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Link me in the chat so I can watch.
I will. There's this great point where Larry King just is talking to him. He's like, going like, yeah. Hedgehogs are interesting animals, aren't they? And then Ben Schwartz literally just drops everything. He goes, I can't wait to see where this goes.
I love Ben Schwartz, and honestly, I'm gonna say this now, and hopefully I'm right. I bet that Sonic the Hedgehog movie's all right. I bet it's.
It's gonna be dope.
I think it's gonna be fucking good, and the people don't believe it.
I want to see the Jim Carrey costume more than anything.
More than anything I've ever wanted in my entire life. Yeah.
I think, like much like Detective Pikachu, the weirder that movie is, the better it's going to be.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know how I feel about like anatomically proportioned Sonic. Like he's
I know exactly how I feel.
Look, I've been on DeviantArt. I know how I feel about it.
Okay, so here's the real question then, right? Yeah. So here's the real question.
Yep.
If you had Schick Hydrobot, Mothman, anatomically correct Sonic, you got to fuck one, kill one, marry one. Go.
Oh yes, dude. This is what I came here for.
Tom, you're on
I'm
the spot,
obviously
man. You got the
very-
floor.
What were
Yeah,
the
the-
options again? Who were
Well,
these?
hold
It
on.
was Mothman.
Everybody's gonna
Mothman.
answer. So, fuck
No.
one, kill one, marry one. Everybody's gotta answer this one. You're not fucking getting on Derek. You got Mothman, anatomically correct Sonic, and it has to be anatomically proportioned Sonic, not fucking video game cartoon Sonic
Okay.
or the Schick Hydrobot.
Right, the one on the motion poster with the man
Yes,
legs.
that's Sonic.
I love that one.
and the
Shit
fucking
abs
lace
with
up
the chiseled
trainers.
abs.
Yeah.
Who are you
I-
fucking? Alex?
I got this. Obviously, I'm marrying the Schick Hydrobot.
So
Duh. I don't know if I've made it clear, but I'm here for this. I'm gonna fuck that dirty Sonic because I have to know. And I bet it'll be pretty quick. Let's be honest. And kill Mothman because I don't fuck with those abs.
All right, this is I know for a fact this is the content that our listeners came for. Tom,
Fuck Schick Hydrobot, marry Mothman, kill Sonic.
how you gotta kill Sonic, man?
You have
Because
to
the
know,
sex
dude.
isn't gonna be good. He's super fast.
Gotta go fast.
Oh shit, Alex, that's a really good point.
Gotta come fast too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this fucking
Dude's gonna go
guy-
like a fucking like a frat bro jackhammering, and then he's gonna be done. He's gonna be like, bye, and he zooms away on a skateboard.
Well, sorry about that, guys.
Gotta split, guys.
I just need a quick fuck. All right.
Jeff, I'm sorry, but you have to answer.
Oh man.
Really into this whole
Jeff, I really do need to know what you're gonna say.
Honestly, I'll just kill Sonic right off the bat. I got nothing. He brings nothing to my world.
Are you gonna use Shadow the Hedgehog's gun to kill him?
Yes.
Poetic
And
justice.
obviously fucking the Schick Hydrobot would be painful. So I'll go fuck Mothman and marry Schick Hydrobot.
Jesus Christ. This is the best. This is the best topic we've ever had. To be perfectly honest with you, Derek, who are you?
No.
Who are you gonna fuck?
Yes!
Derek?
No,
No,
I guess.
Derek. There's a caveat to this.
Oh no.
You have to answer in the Solid Snake voice.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hang on.
Yo, he has a solid snake
Yeah.
voice.
Oh, Tom, you haven't heard this?
No, we've only done it like 3 times since Tom's been on, John.
Okay, I'm trying to yes end into this thing
Yeah.
with you, but there you go, just fucking heart in the kimono.
All
and we're
right.
gonna-
Sorry.
Do it.
Fuck Mothman. I don't know. Marry Schick Hydrobot, and then I guess kill myself.
That was very good.
That was
John, I need you to answer this question for me.
Yeah.
All right.
You're not
So-
getting out of this one unscathed.
So, well, I mean, if you fuck the Schick Hydrobot, you're not getting out of that unscathed either.
Well, only if you accept a blowjob from him.
So,
He has a dick, like he's an anatomic hydrobot,
Yes.
y'all.
so I'm gonna mix it up. All right, because you know me, I like to switch it up. So I'm going to marry Sonic.
What?
Fuck
Okay,
yes.
no. I'll marry Sonic, right? Because if I need, if I need something like Sonic cooks dinner, dude, he cooks that shit super fast, and I'm eating.
Yeah, but you're gonna
Why?
eat chili dogs every night for the rest of your damn
That's
life.
fine. That's fine. I get a quick meal. I get a quick whatever. It's fine, dude. It's all good.
Get a
It's
quick
all good.
fuck.
Yeah.
I am clearly going to kill the Mothman because that's an abomination upon the earth. And a moth and a man should not exist. I don't care how good his abs are. I don't care how well he oils that shit up with Kiehl's in the shower.
What if
Fucking
what
matter.
if I told you it's not a moth and a man? He is not of this earth.
He's not.
Then you're getting into the whole hollow moon shit, and I don't truck with that. Like if he's from the hollow, I've got a feeling.
What if he's an experiment from the reptilians? They are not from space. They've lived here all along, John.
Well,
No, but they're from the planet Anunnaki first, okay? So,
In that
or no,
case,
they are the Anunnaki. They're
that's
from
even more
Nibiru.
They were
Excuse me.
seeded
My
from
mind.
the Anunnaki. Yes.
It's even more of a reason to kill him. Crank. By the way, Crank Shank in chat asks, anybody getting grist for Switch or heard about it? You came in at the wrong time, man. This conversation.
Yeah,
We are.
I apologize.
I'm here to talk about Greece, but not right now. We got
We're,
important business.
finally, I'm not going to. You know what? I am going to fuck the Schick Hydrobot. It does not fuck me.
With his
You're gonna
telescopic
make
dick.
love to the Schick Hydrobot, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't fuck. Okay, I am going to make gentle love to the Schick Hydrobot.
I want to just say
Oh,
this.
you're like the opposite of Christian Grey, who famously said, "I don't make love, I fuck hard."
Yeah, I am going to go Jack Black. Like I'm going to fuck the Schick Hydrobot.
I want to say that
Like-
there is no greater satisfaction that in the an hour and 20 minutes I've spent with all of you, none of you said that you would kill the Schick Hydrobot. That's how much I have ruined all of you as people forever.
So Alex, here's the problem. Tom, I'm hoping that you will join us again in the future.
Definitely not, but yes.
As Tom will tell you, we were ruined a long time ago, man. Like this podcast hasn't been pure.
Here's the thing. I'm ruining you in new ways. Y'all said you want to fuck a razor blade on this podcast.
Yeah.
And that's a new level for me and for you. So
But I don't think. But Jeff didn't say that though, right? Like Jeff doesn't want to fuck. Jeff, are you fucking the Schick Hydrobot?
Hell no.
You're marrying him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm marrying him because he seems
Lock
responsible.
that shit up.
I love the indignation of Jeff. So he's like, "Fuck no." Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You marry Schick Hydrobot because he's clearly a
Mothman.
responsible provider.
Oh my god, this podcast really did really went places, didn't it?
you
Just
can
Just wait until the
watch,
next time when I introduce you to the Hollow Earth.
Oh my God.
You
Are
can
we-
watch.
I'm not fucking the
Irrational-
Hollow Earth.
So to give us a little bit of time for our closing topic, I wanted to see if we could talk about the Epic Games Store just for a little bit. There's not enough to do like a big chunk on it, but I think
Yeah, plus
that
my voice is
discussion,
like on the cusp of just completely failing. So-
it's gotten better and it's starting to get worse again. But yeah, Epic Games Store soaked up a lot of games announced at the Game Awards and afterward. Several of them previously announced for other outlets that are now exclusive to the Epic Games Store. I think that's one part that I've seen a lot of discussion about. And then a lot of their policies, in particular their return policy, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, 14 days, no questions asked, no qualifiers.
Oh God, let's see how long that goes.
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with, I think the bigger bone of contention is around them buying up all of these smaller games to be exclusive to the store.
I am under the impression, from what I've read on the internet, that if I buy a game on the Epic Games Store, all of the games I bought on Steam are inaccessible forever.
Yeah, you're gonna lose them all.
Yeah.
They're gone. They're gone. Tom, you might as well fucking.
Game No comes and cuts them off of you.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, yeah, it's on the same platform. It's not the same as they were taking pre-orders for PS4 and then pulled it from that platform. Like, I can still play it on my computer.
You can add non-Steam games. Like in Steam, I'm looking at it right now, Hades, which is a fucking Epic Game Store game that I double click in Steam and it just launches the other launcher and opens it up.
Yeah.
You can make a folder on your desktop and put icons for all your games in there. And to me, it's irrelevant. It's like standing in a food court and being mad that you have to buy a Big Mac from this store instead.
Yeah.
Like, it's, there's bigger issues. The return policy is like a legitimate issue, maybe, but
Look, I only
Yeah.
know a few things about gamers. All right, I know that they love racism.
Yeah,
They
that's correct.
Check.
love capitalism, but they hate a new competitor coming into a market.
Yes, they do.
basically they like things that they like and make their life easy and hate everything else.
That is literally the best description of games
Yeah.
I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Hashtag
fucking,
gamers rise up, man.
that's fucking perfect. That's so you know what I've noticed this has done already, and I'm sure you guys have noticed it as well, is this has opened up a whole new front in the fucking stupid ass console war. Because now you're gonna have Steam fanboys and
Oh yeah,
Epic
who
fanboys
post
and-
17 times a day about the Epic Games launcher and how terrible it is and everything. And one guy at Epic once, I don't know, did a thing. I don't know.
Respected
man.
a woman once, and now they can't.
I think what you're seeing here is like
Yeah.
Steam has been the dominant force on the PC scene for so long, and maybe people didn't even realize it, but people have now tied their identity to Steam in a way that people on PS4 and Xbox tie their identities to those devices. So I don't even know. It might even be worse that now you have storefront warriors instead of
Yeah.
people defending a plastic box.
Some
So
dude
one
was
thing-
some dude in my my chat on my other show was complaining about fucking Epic Game Store and DRM, and I'm like, dude, Steam is like a form of fucking DRM for all your other games.
Yeah.
It is like hardcore lockdown
Yeah.
DRM.
Well, and that's the other hallmark of gamers, that they generally don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
No.
So one thing I will say, Sam and chat brought up is like the one that I think I'm a little iffy about is Ashen. Ashen was originally an Xbox Play Anywhere title, and now is not because it's exclusive to the Epic Game Store on PC. So like people who are looking forward to that being Play Anywhere, that is an actual example of somebody potentially losing something out on. And that feels like a little, but at the same time, like Epic didn't steal anything. They went in with a bag of money and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And developers went, "Yes, this seems like a fiscally more sound option for me than trying to sell through all of these other outlets." You know, so it takes two to tango. You know,
How many
and
months do we think before it becomes Play Anywhere?
well, we don't know enough details. Is it how long does it stay exclusive? Is it timed exclusive?
They
Is it
haven't
permanently
said the
exclusive?
exclusivity. All we know
Exactly,
is
we
that
don't
it's
know.
still going to be on Xbox Play Anywhere and other platforms.
Oh, have they said that?
Yeah, they said that on the 8th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that.
Real
But,
quick,
like,
not to change the subject, Derek, but I just want
Yeah.
to point out real quick. Two real quick things in chat. One, McCrank Shank came in and said good evening right as we started talking about who we're gonna fuck, kill, and marry. And so that was his exposure. And then the very next comment from Sam was the year is 2025. John is up for Content Creator of the Year. This clip from the podcast is played at the Game Awards.
Yeah, dude.
But
You're welcome.
you know what? At least you're not out there talking about there were good things that came from the Holocaust. The Trending Gamer 20 whatever year Boogie was.
Someone
Trending
clip
Gamer.
him saying there were good things that came from the Holocaust, please.
I think it was a
But
tweet.
not,
that
but
he-
not when I just said it.
That was-
I'm gonna
Only when
put
he
that
did it.
out of context.
that was Boogie that fucking did that, right?
Yeah. Of course it was Boogie who did that.
Fucking Boogie. Dio in chat says all I want is Portal and Half-Life on Origin. Oh Dio.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly. Like
I mentioned it during the Game Awards, but I'm super excited about Journey coming to PC
yeah.
because I just adore that game, and anytime it gets a new life breathed into it, new people to get to experience it is awesome.
Dio, or I almost said Dio is great. Dio, you are great. Journey is great. I meant Journey is great, but I almost said Dio is great. But Dio, you are indeed fucking great. But guys, I gotta wrap this up because my voice is fucking dying. Like this, I might have to stay home for work tomorrow. I'm starting to get a fever too.
Woo.
Hell yeah, dude.
But sorry, like one more thing, John. I guess before we go, I just kind of wanted everyone's take. So the Epic Game Store. I mean, we've had other storefronts make some waves. Discord was trying to make a splash with their game store. GOG before they decided to keep shooting themselves in the foot. Where do we see, like a year or 2 years from now? Is this, especially with Bethesda moving everything to their launcher, like is this kind of the beginning? Not at the end, but have we seen the peak of Steam's dominance on the PC market? Like, is Epic going to be a serious competitor in a few years?
I think Steam will remain the number one like storefront, but I think that you're gonna see it go from basically being almost exclusively Steam, to Steam's kind of market share dropping. I hate to use that phrase because everyone's gonna still use Steam. They're just also going to be using Origin and Bethesda and Epic, and and you'll see less games, less AAA stuff trafficked through. But I think Epic has the best chance to take that bite out of Steam just because they're in a financial position to actually support and push that storefront. And they're loading it with some exclusive content and indies, and they're not just trying to be like, hey, it's not just Origin where it's just, oh, here's where I go for EA games.
Yeah. I mean, people are already using, like, they're in your ecosystem already. They're using your storefront now and launcher every day to play Fortnite. They have a built-in install base that's nuts.
True.
Well, and I think a lot of this, Jeff, to answer your question, is going to come down to the state of the platform, the services it offers, the customer support it offers. I mean, ease of use. And they say competition breeds excellence, right? And I think that I think that a strong showing on the storefront from Epic will only mean good things, not just for Epic, but also for Steam as well. Yeah. And I liken it to, and I hate using this analogy, but I do think it's apropos. I think I agree with Derek in the sense that I think Steam will probably maintain the lead for most of this, but I look at it as Xbox chasing PS4, constantly nipping at their heels, not quite catching up, but posting just enough. What's that? What's that, Alex?
That's what I was gonna say too. Yeah.
Yeah, like causing Justin, like keeping them on their toes. Saying, making Steam think, okay, well, we're the top dog, but we can't get too arrogant because one slip up is all it takes, and Epic comes in and fucking steals our crown. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think I'm wondering if this won't prompt. I don't know. Never mind. That's too conspiratorial. I'm not going to go there.
Mm-hmm. No. Oh yeah.
We started with fucking Hollow Moon. Okay, like.
I know exactly where John was going. Don't.
You can't Brian Decker tease me like that, dude.
Jeff knows exactly where I was going to go with that, I think.
I'll say that, like, the way I see it is very PS4, Xbox One, in that we see one that is, like, clearly winning and doesn't necessarily need to do anything to change that, but another platform or even platforms beyond the Epic Games Store that emerge that are doing way more interesting things like Game Pass. And way more consumer-friendly things like Game Pass. And I think that is where we're looking. Like, I think Epic Games having essentially infinite money and also a burgeoning platform that developers are excited about, we can see them do some, like, twists and turns and really cool shit that we wouldn't expect.
I agree. It's gonna be an interesting situation, and I will be very curious to look back at this conversation a year from now and say, just kind of say, okay, well, where were we right? Like, because I mean, this is huge, right? Like, this is one of the biggest moves any player in the industry has made in years. Because I mean, this has, I don't think it will, but this is the first real challenge posed to Steam in basically fucking forever. I mean,
since Origin relaunch, nothing.
That was fucking nothing at all. Let's go ahead and end it here, just because I'm dying now. I'm definitely gonna start coughing up blood here in a minute. I'm trying so hard to make my voice sound normal. I want to thank Alex from Irrational Passions for joining us. Hopefully we did not chase you off forever. I would love for you to come back and hang out with us, dude.
I feel like I fit in pretty well.
I think you do. Yeah, like you've got the same weird, like sense of humor, and
once you played Fuck, Marry, Kill with Mothman, Chick Hydrobot, and movie Sonic the Hedgehog, there's a blood bond here now.
This is perfect. And next time you're on, we'll get you on with Zach, and he can tell you all about feta and onion pizza. Like, it's
fuck that.
Boy, howdy. Can I plug something real quick?
Please, plug away.
One thing I do want to plug, because somebody in the chat asked about it and we forgot. Grease video review on Irrational Passions YouTube channel and on Twitter. Mike Burgess, our video producer, made that. He loved it, and I think you should watch it. It honestly, his review had like a poignant emotional impact on pretty much everyone on the Irrational Passions team, which is a team of independent writers and content creators on irrationalpassions.com, which is a thing that you should check out.
You should go check it out. It's good shit. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for coming on with this, man.
Yeah, we tried to make this happen for like 6 months now.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but now
it was all worth it for Chick Hydrobot.
So like that still is the best conversation I think we've ever had on this podcast. Like that was and all the boys missed it. Like
I've been doing this for 8 years, man. I bring the A game.
That was fucking fantastic. That was great. Tom, you know how I feel about you. You're always a fucking something you have.
Well, that was meaningful.
Look, all I'm trying to say, I feel like it's not getting through to you.
Speak the truth.
That the fucking moon ain't real.
Tell him.
You know, 2 minutes ago, I just had a random picture pop up on my Twitter timeline.
You had a what?
Someone just retweeted a picture of a moon on my timeline, like completely. Like 2 minutes ago.
Ain't no moon, because ain't no space, because ain't no globe Earth.
Wait until we get deeper into flat Earth together, John. I tell you about how height isn't real.
Jesus Christ, Tom, are the Hollow Mooners watching this fucking podcast?
I mean, probably.
Are they watching this fucking pod? Tom? Did you fucking bring them here? Dio, are you a fucking hollow mooner?
All I'm saying is, when I show up dead, it is important that we make sure it is investigated to make sure that I was not killed by the government or the Globus, John.
I'm going to get a video. I'm going to get like a video message from. I'm going to get a video message from Tom next week, and it's going to say, John, it's going to be all garbled and like, twitchy and like, glitchy. He's going to be like, John, if you're watching this now, I'm dead. And everything.
The phone drops to the ground and the camera just focuses on the full moon.
No.
It isn't real.
The camera drops on the ground and it's picked up and the fucking Schick Hydrobot is holding it. Like that's.
You see like a leg like walk past the camera.
Beautiful blue and silver
with real fucking shoes on.
No, that's it. Oh my god, I kind of want that to happen now. Like, no offense, Tom.
Let's make a poster.
But it is a really good poster, right?
It's a spectacular way for me to go out. I'm cool with it.
John's broken phone with Sonic's legs and the full moon in the background. Fuck yeah.
Gotta die fast.
So good. And Jeff, I'm just happy to see your face again, man.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
We're gone for so long.
Hopefully, I'll stick around this time.
We're gone for so long, Jeff.
I miss you so much, Jeff.
Is there a Pause for Popcorn return in our future, Jeff?
Yeah, hopefully in the new year. Justin and I have been talking about it off for a few months, so we got ideas. I just need free time, and obviously this show is my priority.
I hope that you will get the free time because I miss Pause for Popcorn. I've actually had a few people DM me asking if that's ever going to come back. So
it'll be back.
And Derek, you guys can check out Derek's review on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on our Medium page, medium.com/SDGC. Should be the latest article up there. Great job on that review, Derek.
Did you like it?
I did. It was really good. It was really sensual.
So good.
Like it was really.
No, did you like Smash Brothers?
Oh, did I like Smash Brothers? Fucking that too was really sensual. Like,
did Derek?
It can't be sensual. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, well, yeah, he's my boss, so he gets to speak for me, right? And first off, my review can't be sensual. It wasn't voiced, so you didn't get to hear this.
You've got a nice baritone. You do.
Yeah,
have a nice baritone.
but no, dude, I love the game. I was expecting to love the game. I felt like I could have gotten that review done like on day one, but I did not feel right writing that out until I had really consumed a ton of that game. So I put like 40 plus hours into it just in this last like first week alone. Went to a couple tournaments, practiced with some top players in the state, just like really wanted to get into this. And yeah, I loved it. My big drawback is the online is fucking trash and needs to be fixed.
It really yeah, no, dude, it's pretty bad.
I've had no issues online.
The online's bad. We had a rough time last night when somebody joined our arena and like it turned into a slideshow.
Yeah,
it was slideshows. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was me, Derek, and Justin playing it first, and we were having a good time, everything was smooth, and then some guy joined, and it literally became a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah,
like it was
my other like, and this is much less big of a deal, and they can potentially easily fix this with just patching, but that stage list is unmanageable. It's 103 stages. You have hazards on, hazards off, Omega and Battlefield versions of them. The hazards on and off can only be toggled from a separate menu before stage select. You can't curate like a stage list. It's just going to be a nightmare, and it would be really nice if they could add some of that functionality in, like they let you curate a stage list the same way you can like an item list and give people the ability to toggle stage hazards. But like that's a much lesser thing than the fucking slideshow of the online that I keep running into. So
real quick, I'm sorry, John, I keep prolonging this podcast forever.
Yeah.
It's just what I do. If you've ever listened to my show,
that's what we all do.
Who's your character? Who's your dude or dudette?
Right now, my mains are Mega Man and Simon.
Nice.
And because Derek is a Smash Brothers pro, and I beat him a couple times last night. So
I'm like a low level pro. I'm not a
low level, but you're still a pro. But yeah, Mega Man and Simon. And I think that Bowser seriously needs a fucking nerf because he's powered to the point of just being fucking ridiculous.
He's great.
You would love Bowser. He's
a big boy.
He's
big boys.
You like those big boys.
I will say I wish there was more characters unlocked from the start. Like I don't have the game. I'm by no means a big Smash player, but like I was at a friend's place last weekend. We are just having a party, and someone brought over their Switch, just like the commercial. We were on our roof. We were just in like a living room, but
nice.
Yeah. But we had 8 people playing, and it was it was just pathetic. It was like, okay, I'll be Yoshi or Pikachu or Yoshi. Like there was just such a small list of characters. Like with 8 of us, like everyone, we had 2 Yoshis in one round because nobody wanted to be Pikachu or Mario. Like I just feel like you have so many characters. I understand they want progression, but like I feel like they could give us a little bit more to start with because it was feeling pretty crowded in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree. Like I understand why. I understand why they do it simply because that's just what Smash Brothers is, and like I think it's fun to unlock the characters.
Me too.
However, having said that, I do think that I think that some of the difficulty on those characters is way overbalanced. Like I had the worst fucking time trying to unlock Zero Suit Samus, just the fucking worst, absolute nightmare of a time trying to unlock her and Incineroar. Yeah, I gotta cut it off here. I can't fucking talk anymore.
Okay.
Great.
We did a Smash discussion. You can see it on our YouTube channel. Like,
Also, real quick, don't forget next week is our Game of the Year, show. Each of us will have a Game of the Year and a runner-up, and those shows are always a hot trash fire. So please join us for that. And Jeff has put together a brand new metric that we're going to use for doing a brand new top SDGC top 100 games list, which was just a fucking disaster. Just a disaster.
Final Fantasy 6 is number 78.
Yeah.
Oh, sir.
The best thing is that with the new system, it is entirely possible to have a 60 than it was before. So
I just want to point
don't
out,
let your dreams just be dreams.
I just want to point out, Jeff, that Discord actually cut out when you said that because even Discord is disgusted.
with the idea that FF6 could end up lower.
Bias.
It could end up lower, yeah.
It won't, because I'm going to end the podcast forever if it does.
You keep saying that.
This is going to die if Final Fantasy VI is not in the top 10. But yeah, please be on the lookout for that. And as always, it's not always poetry. We don't always agree, but we always keep it real. So until next week, everybody take care of each other.